Good afternoon, Chair.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
You're good.
Sweet. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Carla.
Hi
Love
there.
your background.
Thank you.
Was that your backyard?
Oh, no. That's courtesy of our HR.
Ah, nice.
Is our guest speaker here?
Her name is Naomi. No, not yet. I don't think so.
Yep, there we go. Got a big hearing today at 3:30. It's gonna be great.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be great.
Good. Is it swinging your way? No, we
Doubtful.
don't know.
Doubtful, but you know. Sword sharp, armor shiny, regardless.
Okay, for you. Stalwart to the end.
Till the end. We're 129, so as soon as we hit 130, we'll start the recording and we will get rolling.
Hi, Tui. Hi, Bennett.
Hello. Hello, Chantel.
All right. It is 1:30. This is the Workforce Development Council's Youth Services Committee meeting on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, scheduled for 1:30 to 3 p.m. in person via Zoom. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today's Youth Services Committee meeting. We have a full agenda, so I'd like to call our meeting to order at 1:30 on the dot. My name is Tui Scanlon, chair of this committee. I would like to acknowledge our vice chair, Carla Kurokawa. This is a public meeting under the open meeting law. The committee members and public guests are viewing in Zoom, and we have staff at the Department of Labor and Industrial Relations office, room 317, in case members and guests wish to meet at an on-site location. To start the meeting and to document in the minutes, I will ask members and guests to introduce themselves with name and organization. My name is Tui Scanlon, president of IATSE Local 665 and IATSE International Trustee. Vice Chair?
Carla Kurokawa. I'm with Alulike.
Kealoha Dalbert?
Aloha, Kealoha Dauber, Goodwill Industries, WIOA Youth Program.
Mahalo. Jenna Silifaiva.
Good afternoon, Jenna Silifaiva with the Maui County WIOA program through Goodwill Industries.
Mahalo. Shai Kepo'o, please.
Aloha, Shai Kepo'o, also with Maui WIOA Goodwill Industries.
Mahalo. Kekoa Kalua.
Aloha ko. My name is Koa. I work with the WIOA Youth Program in Hilo.
Mahalo. Mark Menard, please.
Hello, everyone. Mark Menard, Business Services Coordinator with the American Job Center here on Oahu.
Thank you. Chantel Rowland.
Aloha, Chantel Rowland, Executive Director with the Maui County Workforce Development Board.
Thank you. Matt Stevens, please.
Hi, everyone. Matt Stevens with the Hawaii Workforce Funders Collaborative.
Thank you. Lisa Aquino. You are muted. You are unmuted, but we can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Hi, Lisa Aquino, City and County of Honolulu Juvenile Justice Center.
Mahalo. Crystal Garan.
Aloha. Workaway Youth Program, WIOA Youth.
Mahalo. Executive
Mahalo.
Director. Bennett Misalucha.
Sorry about that. Aloha. Good afternoon, everyone. Bennett Misalucha, Executive Director of the Workforce Development Council.
Thank you. Naomi Kaywood.
Aloha, Maikako. I'm Naomi Rose Kaywood. I'm Program Manager with Kina Eha, and I actually have a couple of our youth here with us. I have Brock and Jace with us as well.
Hey, aloha. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. C. Takahashi.
Aloha mai kākou. My name is C. Takahashi, and I'm with Parents and Children Together.
Thank you. Jay Hidalgo, please. I think you got to pull your microphone down. Unmuted, but cannot hear. Thomas Chalk, please. We'll come back to you, Jay.
Aloha, everyone. Thomas Chalk with DBED in the Creative Industries Division.
Well, Gary Miyashiro, please.
Hey, Gary Miyashiro, Quad D Solutions.
Thank you. Alana Fujinaka, please. All right, we'll come back. Kay McGee.
Hi, it's Khalil McGee with American Job Center. Sorry, I don't know, my camera's not working. Can you guys see?
See it.
Okay, all right.
Good.
Okay, bye.
Well, Leah Diaz, please.
Aloha, Leah Diaz, DVR Administrator.
Mahalo, Earl Kalani.
Hi, aloha everyone. Earl Kalani, American Job Center, Hawaii, Job Resource Specialist. Thanks for having us.
Mahalo. Rosella, please.
Aloha, Rosella Gardashone, Chair, County of Hawaii Workforce Development Board and Director of Human Resources at the Marriott Kinkameme's Kona Beach Resort. Thank you.
Mahalo. And last but not least, Rona Fukumoto, please.
Hi, Rona Fukumoto with Lanikila Pacific and the Workforce Development Council. And I'm sorry, I don't have a camera on this computer. So if it's okay to stay off camera.
I think it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you all. So let's move into today's presentation. We at WDC are always looking for opportunities to lift our workforce, particularly those with barriers to employment. One of those groups are youth who are justice challenged. It is an issue that is near and dear to my heart. This is why we are so pleased to share information about a program that even aspires to end juvenile incarceration. We are privileged to have Naomi Rose Kaywood with us, program manager with Kina Ieha, a key partner in the Kawailoa Project. The Kawailoa Project is supported by a major 8-year grant from the Kellogg Foundation and brings together community organizations in an effort to transform the youth justice system through a Native Hawaiian restorative model. Naomi will share an overview of the collaboration, highlights from Kina Ieha's work with youth, and reflections on lessons learned. Naomi, take it away.
Mahalo. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. All right. Can everybody see my screen? Into slideshow.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Well, hi, everybody. So, as I said, I am Naomi, and we believe at Kina Ieha that it's important that we involve our young people in everything we do. So I have a couple of young people with me, Brock and Jace, as I introduced before. And so the plan is that I'm going to run through some things about our program, some things about the grant, and then I'm actually going to have the boys do a demonstration on our VR training program, so you can see some of the real-time work that we're doing. But so we're Kina Ieha. We are workforce development on the windward side of Oahu. And so we do a bunch of different things. I just wanted to start by opening and showing you our youth are always hard at work in the field, and it's a combination of different work opportunities, but also cultural opportunities as well. And so before I talk about the grant, I wanted to give you an idea overall about us. So we were founded in 2017, and Kina Ieha actually means to extinguish pain. And so our founder was really looking for opportunities to reach out to young people in our community who were struggling with different challenges and figure out how to help them in many ways to help extinguish whatever pain and help them be productive members of our community at the same time. And so, as I said, we're located in Kailua. We're on the Kawailoa Youth and Family Wellness Center property. We do workforce development, but we also believe that a big part of that is wraparound services. So we learned early on that in order to help young people thrive in their workforce, we also have to look at other issues such as housing security, personal growth, mental health supports, things along those lines. So I'll talk more specifically in a little bit about what we do. But we work with youth age 14 to 24, and then we have a residential program for 18 to 24-year-old males here on our campus. Everything we do is based in Hawaiian values and culture. So that's like underlying kind of all of the work that we do. And I just added this little quote that really the intention with Kina Eha is when we work with justice involved youth specifically, not all of the youth that we work with is justice involved, but many of them are, especially the young people who are coming into our Holly program, our residential program. But we're looking to kind of disrupt that pathway to the prison and figure out ways to grab them early, divert them into positive avenues where they'll be positive members of the community, and then help those who need our support when they're transitioning out of incarceration. So many of our youth, like they have dropped out of high school or been unsuccessful in the traditional school setting. So we actually consider ourselves a kula and a school where we're teaching many of the things that help them become well-rounded and those different support services. So I know we're here in the context of you're really interested in this racial equity grant that we got from the Kellogg Foundation. So I want to touch base on that, but I also want to say that Kina Eha is only one of the partners in this collaborative. And because we are doing primarily the workforce development, or we're leading the workforce development aspect, I think that's why we were asked to speak. But just so you know that there are other people in the collaborative, and I might not speak for their opinion at all times. But so the Racial Equity Grant 2030 was a big competition. It was a global competition by the Kellogg Foundation. And so 72 countries actually participated in the competition. And our collaborative was one of 5 big winners across the globe. So there's 4 other ones that are from various countries in different contexts. And so the result was you are awarded a $20 million grant to be dispersed over 8 years. And so the application process that happened back in 2020 and into 2021, we heard that we got the grant and we started the project. The project was already in its formation stage, but really we started using the money and working collaboratively together in 2022. And so we're actually in year 3 of the grant right now. And so our project is this Kawailoa transformative Indigenous model to replace youth incarceration, with the idea that we're all working together on this. And so Kina Eha, we're part of a hui that's called Opportunities for Youth Action Hawaii, and that's the nonprofit group. So that's Kina Eha, our partners, Partner in Development Foundation, and RISE, which is Residential Youth Services and Empowerment. And so the 3 of us sit on a board, or our CEOs sit on a board together, and they make decisions collaboratively about what happens with this grant. Kina Eha, we focus mostly on workforce development, although we have our hands kind of in everything because, again, as I said, like to do this work, we really understand that the wraparound services are so important. Partners in Development Foundation is the fiscal sponsor or agent for the grant, and they manage the financial part of the grant. They also have a farm on campus, Kupa'aina, we work with food security on the farm here. RISE has their emergency shelter here on the same campus with us. And so their main focus is homelessness, houselessness. And so we also have a public-private partnership that is part of the grant, although they interact with it a little bit different because they are state partners. And so that's the Hawaii Youth Correctional Facility and Olamana School. And so kind of the 5 of us together went in, or the 5 of them, I actually wasn't on board at the time, but the 5 organizations went in together to write this award, this grant, and we became finalists, and then we got the grant. So it's been an amazing opportunity to push us as a collaborative to work together on this project to end youth incarceration and replace it with this Indigenous model. So everything we're doing is connected to Hawaiian cultural values. So all of us are located kind of at the same place. It's a 50-acre property in Kailua, which I mentioned was the Kawailua Youth and Family Wellness Center. And so we're trying to meet the needs of justice involved youth through creating an alternative space here, which we're is a puhonua, or a place of refuge. So that's a big part of the work that we're doing, is trying to see how we can all work together and become this place of refuge that young people can come to and get all the services they need to help them thrive. And so the basis of the grant is the programs that we all work on together. So workforce development, housing, education, food security, and of course, Hawaiian culture. And then I also wanted to point out that through the grant, we are all focused on a trauma-informed lens. So a big part of our work is thinking about how to do this with that trauma-informed lens to make sure that we are being the support that young people need. If you're interested, I know I'm gonna go into more specific Kina Eha, but we have a website as a collaborative. OYA has a website, and it's called wearekawailoa.org. So feel free to look that up if you're interested. Also, you can read more about the Racial Equity 2030 grant at the Kellogg Foundation website as well. So I wanted to share those resources. So here at Kina Eha, we do workforce development, but it looks like many different things. So a big part, obviously, what we do is work training. So we do a lot of construction work with the young people, landscaping, facilities maintenance, emergency response, among other things. We're always looking at opportunities. I know I saw that Matt was on the call. We were just on a call with the Workforce Funders Collaborative and looking at the wastewater management and hoping to get involved in that. So we're always looking for those opportunities to partner with different training opportunity for our young people. Then we also do a lot of career counseling and personal development. And so we're doing career exploration. We do resume work. We help with job applications. They'll go to job fairs, or we've actually hosted job fairs. And then we have a number of conferences. So we're always thinking about professional development for our young people. With our partners, or with our partnership with Partners in Development Foundation, we also have young individuals. Brock is actually doing a fellowship right now with the Opportunity Youth Forum on the continent, and he'll go to a conference in May to LA, a group of us, and then they have another conference in the fall. So lots of great opportunities like that we're always pursuing for our young people. And then we look into getting different certifications. So almost monthly, sometimes bi-monthly, we miss a month there and here and there, but we hold on our campus CPR first aid training. And that's actually, we open it to our whole collaborative and community. So members of all of our partner organizations are invited to come and participate in that training, and you get the 2-year certification, and then we can renew after every 2 years. We do OSHA 10 training, and then we've also had a focus on community response training as well, because we want to make sure that our young people are ready to help with any type of community emergency that goes on. We're very community oriented. A big part of the wraparound services too, when it comes to thinking about workforce development, is some of our young people need help with their vital document obtainment. And so when they come to us, we help them get their state IDs, driver's license, birth certificates, depending, we might get transcripts from their old school situation or things along those lines. Which is directly connected to, we're trying to help set them up as with the foundation to be successful in the workplace and not just get them jobs. We have a great high school equivalency teacher. She used to be a vice principal in the DOE, and now she works for us, doing GED and HiSET preparation and testing. And so a regular thing for all of our young people who haven't got their high school diploma, which tends to be a pretty high percentage of them. We get them right into GED HiSET training classes. And then we also have a really thriving volunteer program right now that we've just started this year. And it's been really great to have. We have community members who are coming and volunteering and spending time one-on-one with the young people during GED time, to help them study and prepare for their testing, because that's definitely a priority for us. Again, I said community service is a huge part. Like, we're very community oriented. It's the first and third Monday of the month. We're at the Waimanalo Food Bank. Hold on. Excuse me. So that we help set up and distribute food at the food bank, and all of our young people are involved in that. We have beach cleanups regularly. It's usually once or twice a week that our boys go to Kailua Beach and they're shoveling sand and cleaning the walkways for kapuna or anybody who might be experiencing some type of handicap or need to access the beach. Generally, trash cleanups, things along those lines to just make sure that we're taking care of the community around us. We also get called to help with many community events. A big one that we've been helping with is the different volleyball tournaments that have been going on, like the Trans-Pacific Volleyball Tournament that happened last month. We were big going there, helping put in the effort setting up. The boys will be asked to go and like set up. There was like a Christmas get together at Castle Hospital, who's a partner of ours, and they were all there helping with those things. So we're always looking for opportunities to help our community. We really focus on mental and physical well-being as well. So we have mental health services here. We have a psychiatrist and a psychologist on staff. And so each of our young people, if they're over the age of 18 and they can sign for themselves, they see our psychiatrist every week for mental health support. And then for anybody who's under the age of 18, we work with their parents to see what's best for them. Fitness is a huge focus. We believe that in order to have a healthy mind, you have to have a healthy body, right? And so we have fitness courses on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 8 to 9, and they're actually open to the community. So we have a number of community members who come and work out with us. I work out with the staff. We all work out together on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings. So any of you are welcome to join us. And it's a great time because it like helps us all grow strong together, but it also builds that sense of community. Then just basic medical well-being, like we make sure that all of our young people get to go see a doctor or get to go see the dentist as needed. And so we've had a lot of dentist appointments recently as we're just like everybody that's a need. And so we're making sure that we meet that need because again, we're looking at the whole person and all of the needs to make sure they'll succeed in the workforce. But yeah, so Hawaiian culture is a huge part of the things we do. There is a Kawailoa Oli, and that is a big part of all of our young people learn the Oli and perform it or chant the Oli when we're going to special places, when we're introducing Kinaeha at different things. We have a cultural practitioner who is with us every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon, working specifically with them on these cultural things, on learning the Ole and different chants and melees, as well as the Ha'akoa. We have kapuna who come and do ho'oponopono and different cultural trainings along those lines. That's kind of the spiritual part of the work. We have a partnership with a farm, the Luluku Farms Association, who we both have spent a lot of time at their locations helping with the Hawaiian farming, but they come here and they do kuiai, poi pounding workshops and different how to use Hawaiian plants for medicine. They've come and taught the young people how to pound down olana and make capsules for medicine and things along those lines. Obviously, lei making, various things. We have a partnership where we've been going out to one of our partner organizations, Hale Kipa, and the boys have been helping build Hale there as well. So I wanted to share just some quick pictures so you can see what it looks like because there's a lot of, talk and things about it. So you can see in the upper left corner, it's down at the beach, the boys getting ready to shovel sand. This middle top picture is them preparing the food at the food bank. And so they learn how to like distribute all of the food into different boxes before the community member comes. This is our team and youth on the right-hand side at the volleyball competition, at the Trans-Pacific Volleyball competitions. We were key sponsors and also set up. In the bottom left, the boys all participated in the Makahiki festivals in Waimea Valley last November. And this is kind of some of our young people, actually the two who are with me are in this photo, presenting our offerings for the Makahiki Festival. Last August, we had a community response job fair where we invited community responders like the police. We actually had the correctional facilities here. We had the DLNR, different organizations who did jobs that were related to community response come and do a job fair. And so the middle picture is kind of showing right before the job fair was about to start and the young people are kind of waiting and we were having some presentations. And then in the bottom right, you can see the kuiai workshop in progress. Okay, so I want to go to something more fun real quick, and we're gonna click out of this. And the boys, I'm gonna hand it over to Jace and Brock, and they're going to show you about, so one of the things that we have is this virtual reality training program where we can introduce all our young people to a bunch of different trades. And so Jace is one of our key trainers here. I'm gonna have him go through and explain how to use it.
Wait, can they see me?
Yes.
They can. Okay. Hi everybody. So, this is on the platform that we use called Skill Mill, and it provides all kinds of courses, in the trades, and a lot of the boys use this. So like after community workouts, the boys that don't have their GEDs or high school diplomas, they do GED class. And then for those that do, we hop on our computers and we do this to build our resume and get our certification. So this is the catalog. So there's a whole lot of courses. There's OSHA. Let's go slow. There's all kinds of different things. So this is like facility maintenance. There's HVAC. And then so there's the courses have videos, and then after each like section, there's knowledge checks. And then at the end, there's like the final knowledge check. And then for the courses that show where is it? Right here, where it shows that cube thing, that means that there's actual virtual reality simulations to do on those courses. So then you can get that interactive experience. So there's a lot of stuff on here. So then, for example, over here, this is our team members. Let me go to team members. This is all of us right now, a lot of the youth instructors and all that. So then after you do the courses, you get the certifications. So I'll show, like, for example, for Brock, he has a lot of certs. So if you go to certificates, where is it? Yeah. So if you go to certificates, it'll show all the different.
No, it's not showing him.
What did it show? Hold on. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, right there. Like for Brock, this is all the certificates that he's gotten. A whole lot. So then for us, you could just, after you get your certificate, you can literally download it and just upload it straight into your resume. So it's just building our resume. And there's also weekly leaderboard, team points, so kind of makes it competitive. The boys on to challenge each other, all kinds of different stuff. And I mean, that's pretty much it. There's a whole lot. I mean, I would be able to show like a lot more if like in person, and actually show you guys like the VR and how everything works, like with the goggles. But since we don't have that and it's just on Zoom, this is just pretty much how just the website looks and all the different stuff. There's a lot. It just goes on and on and on.
Great.
Yeah, and that's pretty much just like simple.
Okay. I'm gonna bring it back to our slide deck.
Did you develop that website, or is that something you bought?
This is something that we bought. So we've partnered in with it's called Skill Mill, or Interplay Learning is the platform that hosts it. And so this is kind of a new project that we piloted last fall, and that we were finding to work really well. And we've also offered kind of different trainings for our partner organizations who have been interested in maybe purchasing this product for their young people. So if there's anybody who is interested in learning more about it, you can connect with us, and we're always willing to like have you come here and see. Because as Jace was saying, one of the things about this is we actually have the virtual reality glasses. And so the young people can put on the virtual reality glasses, and when they're in one of these courses, like Jace was showing, they can open it up and it's like literally they can move the wires if they're doing like an electrician thing where they like move the wires and see where it should go as if it's in real time, but it takes away that danger element of them like practicing in real time. So it's like exposure to a lot of these different things so that after they've like practiced in virtual reality, they could maybe feel confident to then go try it, you know, in the real setting. So that was pretty much my presentation, but I want to open it up to questions. And I can't see anybody, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But I wanted to make sure that you all had my contact information. I'm happy to share more information about our program. I know that there's going to be talk story, that we can talk more about the Kellogg grant, or if you want to ask any questions to the boys before I release them from the meeting. I'm going to stop sharing screen though.
I have a question, Chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Naomi. Let's go to questions. Bennett, please, by all means.
Yeah, thank you so much, Naomi. This is impressive. And the thought that really you had expended to put this together is amazing. So I'm kind of curious in terms of what I guess the bottom line mission is. Are you envisioning that you're creating this template and, you know, doing all the lessons learned and maybe tracking performance and gathering data in an effort to take this template and apply it elsewhere, or is that not part of the equation?
So it definitely is part of the equation, and it's kind of two-sided. So one is what we do at Kinaeha, and then one is the collaborative. And so the goal, one of the goals of the Kellogg grant is that we are creating our own methods of working with young people that we want to be transferable to other communities, especially other communities across the Pacific. And so we have an eval team that's we've contracted. PIDF, actually our partner organization, has contracted, and it's run by Tyann Miao. And I know she was my contact to getting me onto this meeting. And so I know she was going to join us at one point, but I know she had a family thing, so she'll probably pop in and could talk more about it. But we're doing. Oh, she's here. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Tyan's here. Well, I'll speak my part and then Tyann can correct me if
I'm here, but I'm leaving the garage of a hospital, so I'm in listen only mode for now. Thank you. Thanks, Naomi. Thanks, Brock and the other boys.
No worries. Thank you, Tyann. Well, so the goal is that, okay, in the first couple years, we're really just establishing what we're doing here, and figuring out what we can learn as a collaborative on the best methods and practices. And then as we move on, so we're going into year 3 right now, where we're really still setting the foundation. Like year 1 and 2 was really about building the collaborative. Like, how do we work together, figuring out what this all looks like. Now we're in a majorly like we're implementing, and each organization, we all do our own things. So the way that it looks is it's not as straightforward as like it all comes into one piece and it's easy and easy to understand. But Tyann and her team are doing a great job. She has a couple of grad assistants working with her on trying to pull all those learnings together into something that we can share. And so then those learnings are presented in different forums at different conferences. And the goal is that by the time we get to year 5 and year 6, we're able to start spreading out to both neighbor islands and then also to other regions in the Pacific, especially. For Kinaeha, we're already in an expansion mode with what our specific projects. So separate from kind of the collaborative in what we're doing, we this year have initiatives to expand to Molokai and Hawaii Island. And so, yes, the short answer to your question is the goal is definitely to figure out how to share the unique things that we're doing to help other communities and support more youth.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I see a hand from C. Takahashi.
So sorry, couldn't find the buttons. Naomi, and are you, thank you so much for that presentation. I'm wondering, are you folks still looking for other community service opportunities?
Are we looking for other community service opportunities? Sorry, you were a little bit quiet. I just want to make sure I heard.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, we're always looking for opportunities to connect with the community. Things kind of ebb and flow. So sometimes we'll have like a whole bunch of Holly building work and we're pretty busy. And then other times we have openings where we are looking. So we are located on the windward side, although we do travel within reason with our young people. So you're welcome to reach out to me if you have an idea or project that you want to connect on.
Okay, that's fantastic because my my underage drinking prevention coalition, the main focus of our work is Kaneohe and Windward District. So would it be okay for me to reach out to you and share that information with you and then see if there's other ways that we can collaborate? Because as you know, a lot of the risk factors that we all look at, they transcend all of our work. So if we could have an opportunity to work smarter among all of us and not harder, I would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, I would definitely. So my email is just naomi@kinaeha.com. So anybody feel free to reach out to me for collaboration. We do have a substance abuse and anger management counselor who is with us a couple of nights a week with our young people too. So that is something that we're always focused on and thinking about the best way to support our young people. Yeah, also if you have youth or that you think would be right for the program, we have various ways that young people interact with us. So like I talked a lot about the Holly program, but we also have a number of young people who just come for the day and come and work for the day. And then we have a school break program where we have high school students who come during the school breaks and work with us as well. And I'm hoping next year we'll end up having a kind of an after school program for those youth as well, and maybe a weekend program, but those are still in the mix. But yes, please, anybody, I'm always happy to. I'm semi-busy. Sometimes my emails get lost, as I'm sure everybody's does, but if you email me, I will get back to you. It might not be instantly, but I will.
Awesome. Any other questions? Lisa.
Hi, Naomi. I was wondering, so you talked about your 14 to 24-year-old, the workforce development program, or that was in the slide. So how can youth get involved with this?
Yeah, so it depends. So everything we do is kind of workforce development and depending on the young person. So we do have the 10-bed Holly. However, I will admit the need is much greater than our capacity at the moment. So we were actually looking to expand and have some alternative housing options as well, because our beds are full and we have a wait list in our Holly program. But if they're on the windward side, or if they have their driver's license and they want to come to the windward side, basically they could contact us. We would register them for the program. And the way the program works is we start at 7 in the morning. And so if they're part of our program, they would start at 7 in the morning and come through until about 3:30. And they would just participate in all of our various activities. We have a stipend program, and it's like kind of an incentive stipend program. So if they work for us the whole day, they potentially can make $80. Depending on if they have to be on time, they have to be professional. And so we have a Pauhana sheet where they have to fill out, so they clock in and out. And so if they're 14 to 24 and they want to be involved in that, they can reach out and we can register them to be part. And then they would be expected to do everything that we do. It's going to the food bank, it's shoveling sand at the beach, it's working at the farm, it's doing whatever construction training we're doing. It's also doing we do resumes, we have jobs here on campus, any of the cultural programming. And so that's like the core program. But then we also do offer different services, especially, so we're kind of like, we work with Kiapu, which is PIDF's Workforce Development Program too. And so we're kind of the windward hub for their workforce development as well. So if you have young people who are interested in some career services and resources who are on the windward side, and they want to come meet about a resume or meet about how to apply for jobs or different things like that, we also can offer those kind of like, they're not like registered in our program, but I put them like in our data that we're giving them resources and referrals. So we're here to provide like the resources that they need. And we're not a super structured in the way that things have to be a certain way. If a young person comes to us, we really try to work with them individually about what kinds of support and what they need. And yeah, so if you have any young people, you can have them reach out. And yeah, we will see what we can do. It depends on what help they need. And if we're not the right program, we also have lots of partners, so we can always try to refer them somewhere if it doesn't seem like what we do is correct.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank
I
you.
have a question, Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
If there's nobody else, I want to make sure that I'm
Are there
not.
any other questions before our executive director goes again? Sweet. Take it away.
Hey, Naomi, is it appropriate to ask questions of the boys other than what they had shown?
Sure. You can ask questions of the boys. They're here. They're being
Okay,
expected
so
to participate.
I'm kind of curious, you know, how you got involved, and in a way, what do you like about the program? And actually, you said you guys are all trainers now, right? So how did that journey happen?
Let me see.
Brock's a little bit shy, but he's great.
That's your story.
Tell your story. You've done it before.
Started off with me going to OCCC. This program came into OCCC. One of the case managers came in and talked to me, asked if I wanted to come to this program. And I had no idea of what this program was. And I came and checked it out. And I went through all these courts, all these probation things that I'm going through right now. And it's more than just a program at this moment. At this point, it's like more like a family. Just staying here and just trying to get myself better. Sorry, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know what to say.
Nah, you good. You good.
Wow, very good.
Yeah. And I'll promote Brock a little bit where he's being a little bit modest, but so Brock, so one of the things that maybe my bad that I didn't explain maybe is that one of the things that we do is diversion work, where we have a case manager. She goes into the institutions and meets with young people who are in the age range and does screenings to see if they be appropriate for our Hale and our program. And then she advocates for them in the court systems. They come out to us often, sometimes on supervised release, sometimes on their own accord, things along those lines. And our case manager makes sure that they make all their probation appointments. She's like an advocate for them. She brings them to their court appearances. And so a big part of working with justice involved youth is that we end up trying to support them through all of that, to the point where they end up going through sentencing with us. The other boys will go and support them, and it is kind of like a family. So I'm glad that Brock said that we end up, the boys end up being very close. We end up being very close. But for someone like Brock, he's been with us for a while now, and he is our only boy who lives in the residential who is our level 4. So we have a level program, and so you come in at level 1 and you have to work your way up to be a level 4, and you can level down. So if different things come up, you might level down. Brock has consistently been our level 4, and he kind of is a peer mentor as the new boys come into the Hale and are experiencing, you know, the various challenges that come with that transition as well. And so, you know, he is here and is a trainer on the VR along with Jace, who is running away. In order to, you know, he has just really shown, like, by, you know, we say that there's like a formula to follow. So he like working hard, making sure that he's meeting all of his requirements, and just being a good mentor to the young people. We have tried to give him as many opportunities as possible to grow in that role. And we're really proud of him.
Thanks for sharing. Did Jace leave?
Jace ran away. I think he was scared to talk.
Okay, we'll catch him next time.
I can share a little bit with about Jace, that he is actually family connected to the organization. So he is not justice system involved, but has come in as just workforce development. So we do have a number of young people who come just for the day. Do you want to say anything, Alka? No, we had another youth also walk in here who is also that, but they come for the day and they end up, so they have a different experience because they're not living on campus. In some ways, it's sometimes a little bit harder. But they end up like coming in and just doing work and then going home in the evening. And so Jace had that, and he's been with us for a couple of years now. And so he actually is like the key trainer for the VR equipment, and he acts as like a peer mentor for the other kids because he's been with us for a long time.
Great. Naomi, I noticed only boys, no girls
So
placement.
we do have girls, but mostly in our high school program and in various programs. So we only have housing for girls right now. That is something that as a collaborative, there is a want to have collaboration or to have housing on campus for girls. It's obviously difficult and challenging, and we just don't have the capacity right now. And the need, because of the work we do with the justice involvement and the diversion work, is much greater with young men. And I'm sure if you've read anything about like the Kellogg grant and the different things, we did have, as a collaborative in that grant, we had like this amazing moment where there were no young girls at HYCF for a couple of days. But generally there'll be about like 20 boys at HYCF and 2 girls. And so the population, the need for the boys is higher. So we chose to just save our housing for the boys. But in terms of the girls, we do have a number of girls who come for GED or fitness, can get involved in, a couple of them are workforce development. One of the girls who works primarily with the Hawaiian farm, she's stipend through us, but she does a lot of work on the farm. Then the high school girls. So it's interesting. Most of the high school interns who come are all girls. I don't know if the boys are off doing something else, but so when we have spring break or summer break, we have this group of teenage girls who actually I have the joy of getting to kind of be the lead counselor for and design all the program and the projects that we do around that, because it's slightly different than our normal day-to-day with the young men.
Very cool. Earl.
Hi, aloha Naomi. Thanks for sharing. Just off the top, like any challenges that you folks have kind of come across that you'd like to share, and if there's any like collaboration that maybe that could help, like.
Yeah, honestly, there's just regular challenges about doing the work, right? It's like there's challenges about getting vital documents or positioning the young people where we need to position, ensuring that they remain, safe going out there into the workforce when they have certain backgrounds. I would say our biggest challenge right now is that the need is great. We have so many young people who want to come. All of our programs, like we have the wait list for the Holly. Our workforce development program has, in terms of the non-residents, has doubled in size. Our school break interns has doubled in size, and we are like kind of at capacity staff wise and trying to find people who are willing to do things in kind of the non-traditional way that we do them here at Kina Eha. We do run more like a family, and yeah, that are really committed to the work. So we're always looking for good staff members who are willing to join us. And then also we're right now navigating that we need to find another housing facility. And that has its own challenges because not everybody wants to rent with the population that we have to a nonprofit like us. But we do have some avenues ahead of us that we're figuring out there.
Awesome. Mark.
Thanks. Hi, Naomi. I know that back in, this is 2019, I think when you guys was first starting out. So we were actually partnered with you folks. We were doing work experiences. So I remember going out there like every 2 weeks, driving out there, bringing the checks for the boys. So, and at that time, I think you only had like 10 to 12 participating at that time. But I was wondering though, are you partnered with any of like the local businesses and offering like a work experience that
We do have a lot of different partnerships. Our big key partnership is with Adventist Castle Hospital, and they do internships with our young people who that then transform into full-time jobs. So we have quite a number of our youth who are working there in facilities maintenance or landscaping or things along those lines. And then we have partnerships with, like, we have a partnership right now with I Love Nalo, which is a vegan meal place, and we're trying to do some wellness programs with them. And yeah, our executive director, Josiah Cow, is very well connected. And so he has connections with all of the unions, different organizations. That being said, one of the big learnings for us in the last couple of years has been that it doesn't make sense to go out and get the young people employment opportunities if they're not ready. So we've had quite a number who've gone off campus and got various jobs at different places and really struggled with some of the challenges that come and then had to come back to us. And so we realized part of the workforce development, it's a long game, right? It isn't just like get the youth and get them a job. It is make sure that the youth is ready to go out into the workforce and that they have all the resources they need. And so one of the big things that we noted is that for the young people who even we got jobs at Castle Hospital, it makes it challenging for them to focus on getting their GED if they're working full time. And if they don't get their GED, the ability to maintain living wage employment will be challenging later on. And so we really right now are in a phase of focusing less on trying to get them jobs and more on trying to prepare them for the workforce. And the GED is a huge part of that. Also noting that for a lot of our young people, transportation is a challenge for them getting to work. So we really want them to get their driver's license and support them with getting their driver's license. And so for almost most of the young people in our Hale who are in our residential program who are with us right now, we're really focused on those two things. We have one who already had his high school diploma and he's going to work at Castle Hospital and do that internship starting next week. But with the other ones, we're really doing the push on GED right now.
Yeah, I know that that Crystal and Jay who's on here now, that's definitely a similar tune and story that they've also experienced. So
Wonderful.
Awesome.
There's one more.
Let's go to Kikoa.
And then after Kikoa, if I can just do one last closing, and because I know we're short on time, Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Hi,
All
Naomi.
good.
I was just curious. I actually had a youth that was justice involved, and he was here in Hilo, but he got sent to HYCF last year. So I was just wondering, I was curious because he did talk about how he was working at HYCF to get off an early release, and he would mention that most of his work was coming from working on a farm, I believe. And I'm just curious to know, because I know you guys said that's your guys' state partners, if you guys collaborate with HYCF and Olomana to give the incarcerated youth opportunities for stuff like that.
Yeah, so yeah, they are our partners and we're on the same campus. So probably the farm they're working at is Kupa Aina. And so Kupa Aina is Partners in Development Foundation farm right next to HYCF and right down the road from us. So we also go there and do work on the farm. Yeah, so we collaborate and they know in terms of with HYCF transition planning, if they have young people who want to come to our program, we're here and we can do diversion. That is something that their priority has been family reunification. And so it would be for them, they're like in their transition planning, they know that we're an option, but I know that from talking to them recently that we haven't had a lot of youth come from them directly to us because a big focus for them is reuniting their youth with their families. However, if you are working with this youth and you think our program is good for them, like you can connect with us, we can try to connect with them. We have partners within HYCF. So we have a group that as part of the Kellogg grant, it's called the Polina Builders. And so every Monday, we have representatives from each of the organization. They actually meet here in this very room that we're sitting in, which is the Kina Eha Workforce Development Conference Room. And so there is a lady from HYCF who we see who comes to those meetings every Monday. And so you know, we have avenues for connecting and figuring out. And so if there's a youth in there who wants our services and you feel like this would be a good transition place for them, we're definitely happy to work with HYCF.
Let's go back to Bennett.
Yeah, just quickly, thank you so much, Naomi, for bringing in your Kuleana and your heart and all the experiences and insights that you just shared. Very inspiring. I just wanted to underscore the fact that this is not just a presentation for presentation's sake. Particularly, our chair is very much committed to, you know, this particular issue. So I just want to be share that we're going to be intentional, and Naomi working through Tyann to see next steps, because there are certainly opportunities for collaboration. The council itself is not the implementer. A lot of the work would be done through our American Job Centers, through work that, you know, Mark and his team and folks from the Big Island as well as Maui and Kauai are doing. So, but again, I wanted to underscore that, Naomi, and great job. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you very much. And again, anybody reach out to me, naomi@kinaeha.com or .org, sorry, .org, if you have any questions.
I also wanted to, sorry, Chair, shout out Brock. Thank you for sharing with us today, and you're doing impressive work. So thanks for being with us.
Yeah, echo that. I have one quick question too. The skill mill is really exciting to me. Just to see that kind of platform. It's very similar to some of the training modules that we have for IATSE, for like behind the scenes technicians for entertainment projects. I was wondering, for Brock, if you could share with us maybe like top 3 either like areas where the skill mill training that you gravitate towards or that you really enjoyed. And then for Naomi, same question, but on a broader scale, what has been kind of the trend of things that like you've noticed a lot of folks have gravitated towards? What have been like the areas of interest in skill mill that you've seen like a lot of participation in?
On skill mill, just hand and power tool safety, just how to use the tools and how to handle it. Also like facility maintenance, like can see what things that you don't know around your house need to be fixed, and you can just go onto that and you just find out right on top of that website or on that platform.
Amen to that. I mean, I'm such a big fan of fixing things with a wrench instead of a credit card.
Then on YouTube, you can use skill mill.
Roth. Amen and hallelujah. And same question for Naomi. What are the areas that folk you've seen gravitate towards?
We have had multiple youth now enter the room who have all been on Skill Mill, who are listening behind us. So I'm going to have them each answer what their favorite course on Skill Mill has been since you're here. Leo? Jace?
For me, the recent courses that I've been doing is in electrical, so electrical concepts, and then building automation systems. And yeah, that's the courses that I'm doing right now.
Okay. Okay, you don't want to know? Leo, what's been your favorite course? Leo.
Well, for me, I've been doing GED, so it's been a while since I've been on Skill Mill. But when I was doing Skill Mills, I was just learning the first steps of construction, like the foundations and like that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Olakia and I've been working on aggressive driving. I work at UPS and I want to become a driver. So
there you go.
Working on that. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. And
well, I wanted to have them
yeah.
share because honestly, I pulled the data from Skill Mill on what courses they do every month, and the list is so long. So when I'm like, it is so diverse. So from customer service to the construction to plumbing to HVAC to aggressive driving to things like that. And the awesome thing about the platform is that all of the young people get to experience like all of them and decide, like, figure out what they're really interested in just by exposure. So Yeah, and we're happy to set up, if you're interested in learning more, we're happy to set up like a training here where you can come and see it in real time, where they're doing like the VR glasses, and the boys lead that as well. So it's always
Awesome.
a great experience.
And I want to applaud Brada for working on the GED, and just to echo, you know, like your mind is the greatest toy and strongest tool you will ever possess, and it's one of a kind. So kudos to you.
Sure, I forgot to mention, we're actually organizing a tour. A
Oh,
site visit,
Dean.
yeah.
I live on the
So,
west side. I live
organizing
like
that
the edge of Kahalu. I want to go.
Is Bonnie your contact person?
Yes.
Okay, so she'll keep us informed of when that tour is gonna be, and we can try to set up something with the VR when you're here.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you so much, Naomi, and the Bradas that joined us. Thank you so much for sharing your manao. Really appreciate it. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to that tour. Please keep me posted. All right, so we'll shift into our roundtable discussion. We don't have a lot of time for this. We have to kind of like shift to another portion of the agenda at like 2:45-ish, just so we stay on track. But there are a couple of discussion points I wanted to bring up for everyone to just throw out insights, if we can kind of like stay succinct and kind of laser focus it, or if we find that there's something that we are really gravitating towards as a group, then we'll focus on that, and you know that will be our roundtable discussion. So some of the things that I want to talk about are access to education and skill building opportunities, employment, workforce development support, mental health and trauma informed services, eliminating barriers to reentry, are the four that I kind of want to talk about. If there's no objection, I'm just going to start at the top, and then we'll see where we get with what we got. So for this access to education and skill building opportunities, justice involved youth often fall behind in school due to incarceration or court involvement, and without educational credentials or job skills, the chances of reentry success diminish significantly. And some of the possible solutions that I hope we can discuss are, you know, mandate access to high quality trauma informed education in juvenile justice facilities, expand GED and vocational training and college courses tailored for justice involved youth, and support programs that allow credits earned in detention to transfer seamlessly to community schools. Those are some of the possible solutions that I see, but I know that I have blind spots, and there are things that I welcome any kind of insights that anyone here is willing to share regarding either your personal experience or what you've seen be effective, or hurdles that you've seen in any of these discussion points, but specifically this one. So I throw that out to the group. Any comments, questions, insights around access to educational credentials and skill building opportunities?
She's gonna hate me, but can I call out Wanel Kanashiro from the DOE?
Wanel!
I knew that was coming. I think as far as the education side and being able to earn some kind of high school credential, whether it's a diploma or a GED, we do have not only our regular high schools, but we also do have the adult education programs within the department, right? Our community school for adults, McKinley White Powell Community School for Adults. So there are opportunities there for students to who have not necessarily succeeded in the traditional school to earn high school credentials. We have been trying to build out with our adult education program, as well as with our high schools, more skill building programs. And part of that is being able to partner with industry. So that is one of the things that we're looking for, is more partners. Not just businesses, but also the unions and then state agencies. So we're trying to work in building all of that out too. Because for us, we want to make sure that our students have the skills and knowledge they need to succeed right at high school, right? We know that half of our kids are not going to go to college. And so we need to do better in making sure that they have what they need
to succeed straight out of graduation, straight after graduation. So we are trying to build all that out. But in order for us to do that, we need help, right? And we're hoping for help from the employers and state agencies.
I will throw out that OSHA and first aid CPR are huge as a start for the trades. Massive. If there was lift certification, I don't know how you would do lift certification in skill mill, because there's a practical element to actually like driving one. But those kinds of things, and fall protection, PPE, not necessarily meaning masks, but hard hats, gloves, safety glasses, and those kinds of things are super important as far as just like baseline foundational for any of the trades. But that's awesome. I look forward to partnering on more with you, Wanel. I know like we got started and then there was sort of a delay in things. Session is, politics are gross, but session is moving right now. And that as soon as there's more time, as soon as I come up for air to breathe, I promise I will reach out again, so that we can rebuild and create opportunities for some of these folks to join the film industry and behind the scenes entertainment workers. Is there anyone here that can talk to what it looks like for folks who are in justice affected youth or justice involved youth that take college level credit courses while either incarcerated or in the system, and what the transfer to community colleges or to universities look like? What are some of the hurdles there? Are there things that transfer directly and others that don't at all? Is there anyone here that could speak on that? All right, no is an answer as well. Don't worry about it. We will find a way to get that addressed later. For the counties or for state entities here, what would, aside from bills in the legislature, what would mandating access to high quality trauma-informed education in juvenile justice facilities look like? Is that something, I don't think that the wheels of bureaucracy move very quickly at all. And that's just been my jaded view of being at the legislature for, it feels like 300 years now. But I know that it's an important thing. What does that look like for you in the counties or for the state or for any other entities? What does it look like mandating access, or at the very least, just creating access to those kinds of resources? High quality trauma-informed education.
Sorry, Carla, I'm going to call you out. Could you kind of share a little bit about Big Island situation for Justice Challenge Youth?
Were you referring to our discussion and the documents and everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And that kind of challenge, but if you can also pivot it to credentials, if you are familiar with that process or protocol at all.
I was very encouraged to see in their presentation that they are working on getting the documents, for these youth, because my experience is that not too many services occur while they are in the facility. So, in response to Tui's question, mandating high quality while they're in any facility or while they're transitioning out would be just absolutely essential. But my experience is since there are so limited services provided to them when they're in the facility, when they come out and they want to make good for themselves, for their lives, they want to seek education, they want to seek training, programs like ours, and I'm sure many other programs, we need to start with the basics. Your birth certificate, your social security card, documentation for eligibility. And they come out with IDs, You know, because even if somebody wanted to hire them when they come out, and they don't have their birth certificate, they don't have an ID, they can't be hired. And so that has been a really big barrier. So the presentation, one of their bullets, when they honed in on providing the documentation, that's really helping to prepare them. I mean, that's like exciting. And so, but that's been my experience. They come out and we can't help them, and an employer can't hire them. They don't have their documentation to even apply for college because they need access, say, to immunization records, all of that. And so a lot of times what happens is that mental health aspect of it, right? They come with all this motivation, wanting to do good for themselves and not wanting to go back, but discouragement, despair sets in. And when discouragement and despair sets in, it's kind of like, what's the use? And, you know, the end of that story. And so this presentation really inspired me, encouraged me. If it can be duplicated throughout the state, if we can do anything that support their efforts, our program at Alulike, we can help pay for the GEDs, the high sets. We can help find placements for them. We can help pay for their union dues. We can help pay for their college education. But, they need to get that GED too, because without that high school diploma, then they cannot be eligible for financial aid. Did they apply for selective service? So a package that mandates high quality access to training is essential, but also mandates high quality and attentive case management. So these barriers can be worked through so that we are behind them, assuring success, because they do want good for themselves. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that in the pyramid of needs, that there are so many different needs, but for folks that are experiencing that life right now, that are in correctional facilities, I'm sure that some of that goes by the wayside if it's hard enough just to have, adequate facilities for sanitation, for food, for, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I
And
know that
many,
those are necessary too,
I'm
but
sorry.
like, no, I was just saying, like, I want to acknowledge that what I said earlier is also, I should preface that with, yes, like the actual living conditions in certain facilities. Not saying that this is a blanket statement for all, but that the facilities and the living quality of life that exist in some facilities may not make it so that the pressing need is for training. But if we are to reduce recidivism, it's important that we talk about it. We talk about how we help folks once they exit these facilities, they can also exit that cycle. But
Yes,
thank you, Carla.
and you give them hope, so thanks.
Mhm.
I see Rona's hand up.
Oh, thanks, Tui. I wanted to echo Carla. She described it as case management. I think what's missing in some cases is continuity. There are lots of services, lots of buckets. We participate, Laniquila Pacific, with the collaborative. We're not a formal partner, but we get referrals through Voc Rehab and, assist a number of the youth there with job placement, similar types of work, not as much hands-on as what Naomi and Kinaiha are doing. But my understanding is some youth are released, go home, maybe go back to the Big Island, like Keiko said, and there's no continuity. So that might be part of the issue. So quality might be there, services might be there, but then when they're exiting that program or exiting another program, who picks them up, who continues to make sure they finish their GED studies and then they go on to the next piece. I don't think there's a, and I'm not sure, and I think maybe that's part of what the collaborative is trying to do, create a system where they're not lost between different programs, between different services. So there's still some building that needs to be done.
Yeah, consistency in the scaffolding around the support systems, yeah. You know, like that's a great pivot down to eliminating barriers to reentry. Youth reentering society face numerous barriers, restrictions on housing, driver's license, education access, financial aid. Some of the possible policy solutions that I want to suggest to the group, maybe we can discuss this a little further. We don't have much time on it. Implement clean slate or expungement laws for nonviolent juvenile records. Remove blanket bans on financial aid, public housing, employment licenses for individuals with juvenile records, and support reentry navigators or case managers, we were just saying, to help with youth service access services, housing and legal aid. And like Rona had just mentioned, making sure there's consistency in that support on their journey to creating a better life for themselves and for others.
Chair, can I ask Mark Menard, because he's
Yeah.
been around for a little while, like to what extent do we work with justice involved youth, and what is our capacity in terms of like the case management? I'm talking about the American Job Center.
When it comes to justice involved, I know that let's see, Lisa Aquino works with the JJC program with HPD, and those are much, I think, Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong, that tends to be much younger youth, yeah, and they're like younger teens, right? And then I know that Crystal and Jay in the youth program, I'm not sure how many justice involved youth that we actually have enrolled. Do we have anybody right now, Crystal? And I'm trying to think, even in the past, how many were just, I can maybe recall a handful.
Yeah, sorry, is my mic working again?
Yeah.
It is, okay. Just for, I guess for, what do you call? We do have probably a percentage of justice involved youth in the Work for Hawaii Youth Program, part of the HACH here. I think it's not as highlighted because sometimes it's maybe not initially shared during time of eligibility. But as you know, a case manager, a career pathway advisor here, we do run into that. Like we actually have a youth right now who's currently dealing with that, and actually initially started with us, is on his journey to GED, very bright young man, but he had some barriers before connecting with the program, and he's currently on leave, I guess you can say, from the program. He's going through the system. We're trying to reach out to him, see what kind of supports we can offer. You know, going back to what Carlo was saying, that hope that his time with the program is not over. As soon as he's able to connect or even remotely do so, he can still continue his path on his GED. I don't have raw data or numbers right now as far as like how many youth we currently have, but it has been a part of our program and a part of some of the barriers that our young adults do face. You know, we offer again GED services, so that's something that we're constantly working on. Main part of what people know about us in the community. Schools, counselors know of us for that, but we also provide the training opportunities, work experience, really trying to give them the well-rounded experience on top of similar to Kina providing cultural opportunities, you know, community service projects, things like that. It's more than a diploma program as far as what we deliver, but court involved, you know, it does have additional barriers. And like what Tui mentioned about the whole blanket approach when it comes to disqualifying those with financial aid. yeah, if there was a way to change some of the views on that, I think it would open a lot more opportunities for youth. I myself was a big, that's how I paid for college, basically, through financial aid and whatnot. So I know how impactful it can be and meaningful, and as far as opportunities ahead of anyone. So looking forward to seeing where that can go as far as opportunities for young people.
Copy that. Mahalo. Let's go to Diane, and then we gotta shift gears to the ED report.
Hi, I just wanted to say, thank you to everybody on this policy piece. I think everything you guys are talking about is really important. One thing I just wanted to put in the ears of folks that might be working on this is a lot of times when we talk about youth, we do look at, juvenile records. And I just wanted to, say part of this way we're trying to help people think differently is a lot of the boys or young women too might be only 18, and a lot of those same policy barriers trip them up, So one thing just to consider is having language that extends the age from 18 to 24 when we talk about youth, and that's kind of consistent with some other work that's being done around, child welfare. I think is done benefits up to age 26, but 24 seems like an age that is more expansive in terms of allowing for young people to, have that time where they're trying to figure things out and not be penalized as harshly because, they're working to overcome some hardships. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for the robust discussion. I know we didn't get to everything, but I really appreciate it. Certainly need to keep the momentum going because the youth need our help, and we as the folks who are the movers and shakers of stuff, there's got to be solutions for the problems that we have to overcome the hurdles that we see. But thank you all. I appreciate it. I'd like now to pass the mic over to WDC Executive Director Bennett Masalucha to give her updates.
Mahalo. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. That's a tough act to follow, but I'm going to have an abbreviated report because I want to, again, in deference to and very respectful of all your time. So I wanted to just give an overview of what's going on at WDC, but I have to apologize to those people who already have heard this many times, perhaps, because at every committee meeting, we do have a highlight of, what's going on at WDC. However, we feel that we have to do it, or we must do it, because there's still people in the room who may not be as aware of what WDC is or the activities that are forthcoming. So I'm going to cover, again, hopefully very quickly, 3 things: the unified plan implementation, the structural transition into WDC as an attached agency to the Department of Labor, and a focus on the first quarter, actually second quarter 2025 events. So be that as it may, as you know, we're right smack in the middle of implementing the unified plan. We have received a grant from the National Governors Association for some technical assistance on developing our North Star. That's exciting stuff, folks. We have 4 catalyst teams, and those teams have already met for the first time. In the foreseeable future, there's probably 2 or 3 meetings forthcoming. So these were some of the meetings that were held, and each of the Pillar Catalyst teams, this is the scope of their work. They've done 2, and hopefully be able to, set clear goals, and then eventually submit the final recommendations to the Workforce Council. This is the timeline, and we're right in the middle of February to May, where the pillar teams are meeting. We're starting the development of the North Star, but we would like to have another Synergy Summit in July, and eventually produce a report to the governor by December, which would then put us on a good path for our modification plan, which is required for all the states. So this is I think if, you know, don't remember anything, just want this one thing, that we're hoping that the transition between WDD and WDC will be completed by June 30. We are, again, we've been very busy, and I want to just thank our team, Evan Palmer and Kelly Kitaves, for all their hard work on this. For the second quarter, we're increasing our building or our operational capacity and making sure that there's all the other attendant things. I think there's 35 on our list right now would be implemented. Chair, I want to thank you for your leadership. It's always a wonderful opportunity to work with you, but thank you for your volunteer work, because I think people should know that this is a volunteer work, and you probably, you know, could be spending your time elsewhere, but you chose to be here.
I appreciate that. The day will come when I say no to a new project, and today is not that day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Are there any questions or comments at this time for the executive director's report and updates? Okay, seeing none. At this time, the public is welcome to announce any upcoming events and comment on relevant issues that were not included in this meeting agenda. Sorry. Please be advised that in compliance with the Sunshine Law, the committee cannot discuss or act on issues that were not included in the agenda, in this meeting's agenda, but issues raised during this period may be included in a future agenda for the committee's consideration. We ask the comments be limited to 2 minutes each for each speaker. Are there any comments or announcements of upcoming events?
Is Eric Pasqua on this Zoom call?
I do not see Eric Pasqua.
Oh, okay. He was supposed to make an announcement. I don't have all the particular details, Chair, but they are launching the summer internship program for Title I schools, and it's a 12-week program. It's a paid summer internship program. So I will be circulating the details of that after I receive the flyer from him.
Awesome. Any other announcements or comments on relevant issues? Okay, seeing none, the next meeting is tentatively scheduled for May 5th at 1:30 p.m. via Zoom at the Department of Labor offices, 830 Punchbowl Street, Room 317, and via Zoom. With that, we are adjourned at 2:54 p.m. Thank you all for being here. I need to run to the Capitol now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Aloha.
Everyone.
Thank you, Bennett.
Thank you.